let's go ahead and create a fresh account together so I can talk you through what that looks like. When you go onto the architect landing page, you can click on any of the CTAs anywhere you'd like. I put a bunch all across the website. You can even click on this little button right here, and that will take you to the app itself. I'm doing the demo on my desktop, but it works perfectly fine on any mobile device as well, or iPads, or your cell phones, iPhones, Android phones, whatever. Any browser works. Once you get to this screen, which is the login page or the sign up page for the app, you can choose to just continue with your email. And if you do, you just enter your email here, click send magic link. This actually saves you the hassle of creating a password, remembering your password. So if you do sign up this way and enter your email here, you click send magic link. It's going to send a link to your email address that you put in here, which you can click directly to sign up to the app and start your onboarding. And after your onboarding is done and you have created your account, you can use the same method to log into the account whenever you'd like. But for this demo purposes, I'm going to be using a Google account. Clicking on continue with Google, it's actually going to show you a prompt asking if you're okay with sharing your name and email with the developer, who is me. After you click yes, you're going to be sent to this onboarding screen. Here you can use any name you'd like. You don't need to give your actual name if you don't want. You can give your name, last name. You can just use your first name. It depends on you. And this is what the architect, your mentor, or your life coach is going to call you by. So I'm going to put in the architect here just for this demo purposes. Continue. And then it's going to ask, what does your life look like when everything clicks? The version of your life you want most. Be specific. So the purpose of this onboarding is for the mentor to actually get to know you a little bit before you start communicating with it. So even from your first journal entry, the mentor will know about you and will respond specific to you. I'm just going to fill this out in the demo account. Bear with me for a minute, please. In my ideal life, I'd like to be waking up before sunrise without an alarm clock. And then I'd like to be able to take as much time as I want to read, meditate, work out, have coffee, enjoy life, and only have to work when I want to work. I don't want to have to work for income. I'd like to have passive income supporting my lifestyle. There's this little option here. You can click the microphone, and if you let your browser use your microphone, you can dictate your entries just like how I just did for the onboarding and for your actual journal entries as well. What keeps pulling you back from the life you actually want? The pattern you keep returning to, the one you wish you didn't. I get motivated and then I start working towards my goals, and then I actually get a lot of progress done, but then somehow I keep self-sabotaging and I keep sabotaging my progress. That should be enough. I mean, you don't have to give it much. Whatever you feel like, just one sentence is enough. If you don't know what to say, you can even put in, I don't know what to say. But the more information you give, the better responses you're going to get. And with every information that you put in the app, the architect gets to know you more and the responses are sharper, and each response is actually an unlock specific to you. That's how I engineered the product. And once you start testing it out, you'll agree with me. Anyways, let's continue. After you complete your onboarding and give the architect that information, it's going to get a first read on you and then give you the first response. You describe building real momentum and then reliably dismantling it. That's not bad luck. It's not weakness. That's a function. Something in the dismantling is serving you, or you would have stopped doing it by now. The vision you described requires no external permission. Sunrise, coffee, a book, workout, most of that is already available to you in some form. What isn't available yet is the financial floor. But notice that the self-sabotage doesn't happen at the financial floor. It happens during the progress toward it, which means the obstacle isn't the goal. It's something that gets activated when the goal gets close. And then a question to sit with. What does getting close to that version of your life cost you? And who would you have to stop being to have it? So that's just how the architect works. It's just like very deep. I didn't even give it that much. You can see how it responds. Anyways, let's proceed. This is how the app looks when you get in. And with your first entry, you just click this text box and you can do your first entry. Or if you don't feel like writing too much, you can click on check in and you can send an emoji along with a couple of words or a sentence. But for this demo purposes, I'm going to actually do a short couple journal entries. Today has been a pretty productive day. I've been working since 10 a.m. It's 4 a.m. at this time. I only took one break to go to the gym. Even though I'm a bit tired, mentally I feel very sharp and motivated because I've been working on my app and pushing a lot of new updates today, which I'm really proud of. Like I said, if you please, you can click voice input and do as I just did. You can dictate the app. This works on your phone browser or on your desktop browser. And then I click reflect with the architect. Here, instead of clicking, if you're on a Mac, if you please, you can also press Command Enter. That also works to send it. Hours of focused work, one gym break, and updates shipped on the app. That's the day as a fact. The story you're adding is I'm proud of this, which is worth noticing. Not because pride is wrong, but because it's the same energy you described as the engine that eventually stalls. You named it yourself. Momentum builds, progress accumulates, and then something cuts the line. Today is the kind of day that feeds the pattern you already identified. The good run before the interruption. What's already pulling at your attention that you haven't written down yet? I feel like I'm giving up on my sleep, and I am a little bit scared that this might cause a burnout. So I'm going to prioritize giving myself a day fully off this week. It's 4 a.m. The concern about burnout is real, but notice what you just did. You named the risk, then immediately scheduled the solution and moved on. That's a plan on paper at 4 a.m. after a 6-hour workday. The question isn't whether a rest day is a good idea. It is. The question is what happens between now and that day, because the pattern you already identified doesn't wait for permission. What would actually have to be true for you to stop working tonight? So this is how the product works, and the more you talk to it, the more you give it, the more journal entries you make, the better it's going to know you, the better it's going to understand you, and the better it's going to help you unlock certain things in your life. I kind of publicly promised that I would make this privacy video about my app. And today I self-promised that I would get it done today. So that's what I've been working on the whole day. And I just got done around 3 a.m. So it's almost 4 now, and I'm filming the video. And as soon as I'm done filming this video, I'm going to head to bed. There you go. So after your third journal entry, you're going to get prompted with your recovery key. This is your specific key that opens your lock. So this is the key that opens all of your data. I don't have a copy of this. This key is not stored on the server. So if you lose this key, I'm not going to be able to recover it for you. And unfortunately, with that, all of your data is going to be gone once you go to a new browser, a new device, or wipe out your browser history. What you want to do here is, as it says right here, copy this key and save it somewhere safe right now. In the following days, I'll actually remove this remind me later option because this is quite important for users to actually save a copy of this key. Anyways, your journal is private, truly private. Every entry is encrypted on your device before it ever leaves. So not even we can read it. This key is the only way to access your entries on a new device. No one else has a copy. That's the point. Exactly. I actually have this know-how from my crypto background. I've been full-time in crypto for the past 5 years before getting into building this app. So this is a know-how I got from the crypto space. And this is literally how crypto wallets are encrypted and secured. So I use the same technology for the architect. And once you get to this screen, you can just click on here and then your key will be copied, or you can click here. And then once you actually copy it, make sure you save this somewhere safe. And I personally suggest that you save it in multiple places. Maybe save a copy in your email drafts, email yourself a copy of this, save it in your notes, and then lock it or something. Wherever you save your important stuff, save this. Please don't be lazy when you get this screen. Just copy this key, go save it somewhere safe. Once that's done and you saved your key, you click continue. And then here, just to make sure you actually copied your key and saved it. I mean, I can't make sure that you saved it, but you just paste the same recovery key here. You click confirm and continue. Recovery key saved. Your workspace is secured. So with that key, let's say you created your account on your desktop. If you want to access the same account on your phone, on your iPad, or another computer, whichever new device you go to, or even in a new browser. If you want to open your journal and have the mentor know your entries, and for you to be able to see your own entries, you need this key. There's no other way around it. So save this key somewhere, and upon your login on a new device, the app will prompt you asking for this recovery key. And if you input your recovery key, your entries are going to be unlocked for you and for the mentor. Next time you get into the app, you're going to see a prompt for setting up a PIN pop up. Setting a PIN is optional, but I personally like a PIN, because even if you give your device to somebody, you let somebody use your computer and they go into the architect, if they don't know your PIN, they're not going to be able to access your account. Same thing with your phone. Even if you go into a different browser tab and then come back to the architect, you're going to have to input your PIN, which keeps your journal and entries safe. So I definitely do suggest you set this up, but it's optional. So if you choose to, you don't necessarily have to. For the purpose of this demo, let's set up a PIN. There we go. Now we set up a PIN. As you can see, I can see my own journals, but the database can't see it. So if you journal whatever you put in here, I'm not going to be able to see it. And if you lose your private key, I'm not going to be able to save your data. So make sure you don't lose your private key. I'll show you how the PIN works quickly. Like I said, even if you go into a different browser tab and then you go back to the architect, it's locked. So this is why I suggest you create a PIN for your account. And if you do end up forgetting your PIN, at least we have a safety measure for that. If you input your PIN wrong for 4 times in a row, you'll get an option to reset it with your account email. If anything is unclear, if you have any further questions, feel free to just comment down below. Or if you please, you can send a private email to hello@architectapp.ai. And aside from that, if you have any feedback, future requests, or any questions, feel free to comment or email. And now that you know more about the architect, if that's the kind of thing you want to journal into, it's there.